At least 10 people were killed in northern Israel this evening when a rocket fired from Lebanon hit a soccer field in the Druze town of Majdal. The majority of casualties are children between the ages of 10 and 20. More than a dozen others were injured, including at least 9 in critical condition, according to Magen David Adom Emergency Services. Now, this attack, killing civilians, children on a soccer field, it is the single deadliest attack by Hezbollah since the start of the war. The Iranian-backed terror group initially claimed responsibility for the attack, stating it fired dozens of rockets at an Israeli military base in the Golan Heights. However, as the death toll keeps climbing, the terror group has now walked back their statement, saying they did not launch rockets toward the Druze community. Top Israeli officials are currently holding a situational assessment to determine a response against Hezbollah. Well, for more on this developing story, I want to go to retired Colonel Dr. Jacques Neria, former deputy head of assessment for Israeli military intelligence. Dr. Neria, thank you for being with us as always. These images in the north coming out of that soccer field, they are horrible to look at. So I want to hear your analysis of the situation that at this moment it is still evolving.
Well, since the beginning of this war, we were looking for who would be the one that would commit the error, or I'd say that would commit the miscalculation that would bring both parties into an escalation and finally a total confrontation. And it seems that this error has been committed by Hezbollah. Now, the Hezbollah is trying to say that it's not. I mean, it's not his responsibility. Somebody else did it. But according to the sources of the army, it's 100% the Hezbollah work. It's part of the hundreds of missiles that were fired today towards the Israeli Golan and other areas, because of the killing of the 4 terrorists in Kfar Kili. Imagine yourself that Kfar Kili is about 200 to 300 meters far from Metula. And this is where the Hezbollah fighters are still there. I mean, this is the Redwan force that we are trying to push away from the Litani. They're still at the border. And these are the people that were killed. And because of them came the response of Hezbollah. As I see it today, we are on the verge of an escalation, a very serious one, because this is a situation that Israel cannot afford, cannot accept, and certainly not. I mean, when children are killed, and definitely, I mean, this is beyond the red lines that have been put in front of Hezbollah. In fact, there's no other choice for Israel but to act against Hezbollah on a very large scale. I don't know, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, but definitely in the coming hours.
Well, and there is a situational assessment being held in the north. We're waiting to hear from the IDF spokesperson, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, to talk more about this incident. So you're stating that something like this, which I want to tell our viewers, this is the single deadliest incident since October 7th. That's the casualties, the amount that we're talking about in the north right now. And so is this enough to change the course of the war in the north?
Well, this is the first time, I mean, that civilians have been hit to such an extent. We already had...
Jacques, I want to cut you off right now. We are hearing from Daniel Hagari. Stay with us, but let's take a listen to what Hagari has to say.
Soccer, in a soccer field, in Majdal Shams, in northern Israel. Hezbollah then lied to the whole world and claimed they did not carry out this attack. This is a lie. We can confirm that Hezbollah murdered 10 children in this brutal attack and injured more than 20 were injured in this brutal attack. All were aged between 10 to 20 years old. Our thoughts are with the families of the victims, and our thoughts are also with the wounded that we embrace and hope for they to come well soon. This is the Druze community in Israel. These are Israeli citizens. We hug the Druze community. She's part of Israel. We will defend the citizens of Israel and also the Druze community. This is an attack that comes after attack in the north for more than 9 months. Hezbollah is attacking our citizens in the north, firing thousands of rockets and missiles and UAVs. at northern Israel, targeting families, homes, and communities. The IDF is currently holding a situational assessment, and we will prepare for a response against Hezbollah. We will finish our assessments and we will act. This attack shows the true face of Hezbollah, a terrorist organization that targets and murders children playing soccer on a Saturday evening. We will act to restore full security on our northern border for all the citizens of the State of Israel. Thank you.
That was IDF spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari talking about the deadly incident in northern Israel. Dr. Jacques Neri, I want to come back to you listening to the statement we just heard from him. Not necessarily any new information, but continuing to reiterate that this attack, as miscalculated as it might have been from Hezbollah, did result in 10 civilians, mainly children, being killed on a soccer field.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could hear the rattling of the sabers. This is definitely a preparation for an operation that is beyond what we have seen today till now, and certainly in the depth of Lebanon, it might targets might be chosen in Hermel, in Baalbek, even in Beirut. In my view, I mean, the IDF would certainly target arms depot, missiles depot, headquarters, the anti-aircraft missiles, and all sorts of positions of Hezbollah. Certainly, this is a wide array of targets that would definitely bring us to the brink of an open war between us, and not only with Hezbollah, but with all the other proxies in the area. Those who are in Lebanon, like the Iraqis, those who are in the Golan, like the Afghans and the Pakistani, and those who are from Iraq, and also the Houthis. We are here opening a new chapter in the war with Hamas, which is going to be transformed very quickly into a regional war, a situation that neither Israel nor the United States, not even Hezbollah and Iran, were interested in getting to. But I mean, the situation is such that the red line has been crossed many times, but this time this has been one time too much. And this is why Israel is going to react and react forcefully.
Retired Colonel Dr. Jacques Neri, thank you so much for your analysis on this.